India, and Pakistan. This thing got ugly very, very quickly. So the sequence of what happened here, Rob, if we want to kind of go through that, on April 22nd, okay, a Muslim terrorist from Pakistan, from an organization, we can pull up the name, attack in an area, a state called Kashmir, which the war with Kashmir has been going on for many, many years. 1947 to 49 was the first one. Then they did it again, 65. They attacked this area, and while they attacked this area on April 22nd, they killed 26 men only, specifically men only. They said, "Are you a Muslim?" "I am." On many cases, they asked the men to pull their pants down to see their dangling, to see if it's circumcised or not, and then they killed them because that was their way for them to know if they're Hindu or if they're Muslim. They killed them in front of their wives and their kids intentionally. They said, "Go back and say this to Modi." Then they would ask, "Are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Give us the Islamic prayer. Give us this." If they couldn't do it, they killed them right there. 26 of them. These were 5 men that did this. So what does India do? You humiliated them. By the way, there's a video of a zip line. Rob, if you want to show that zip line, of a man that zip lining. This video is being shown everywhere. First time you see this video, it's like, what's the big deal with the zip line? This man is zip lining. He's happy. We've all done this before. You and I, most of us have done it, where you're recording it. And you want to post it on social. Rob, you can lower the audio just a little bit so we can hear the shooting. He's going, minding his own business, not knowing at the bottom there are terrorist attacks.
Right now.
They are shooting right now while he's going through this. Not at him. You will see a man drop in the back right there. They're running around. They're scared. They're hearing all the stuff that's going on, the commotion.
Look at this guy on the left.
They're worried. There's one person on the bottom there. Boom.
And he has no idea. He's just
He has no idea. He can't hear
no
anything.
idea
Can't
what's
hear
going
anything.
on. You can pause this right here, Rob.
There's a terrorist.
This story is all over the place. And it's been very, very aggressive with all the stuff that's taking place. Obviously, India's responded, attacking them, going back and forth. They're claiming there were planes that crossed. They're claiming even one plane that's a Chinese plane was apparently shot. So China's now getting involved, and China doesn't want to get involved. The concern with something like this is the fact that it may force China and U.S. to get involved. China apparently has put somewhere around $85 to $100 billion that they've invested in Pakistan. They don't want this war to be taking place. But if it does happen, it's also kind of strange, the timing of it, that this happens the moment. April 22nd is when this happens. April 25th is when Apple announces that they're moving the 60 million phones that they're building from India, from China to India.
Weird.
Of course, they kind of whispered about April 7th, but April 25th became official, not looking pretty. The president reacted to the story. His reaction, Rob, is this the one that you have?
Yes, this is yesterday in the Oval Office.
Go ahead and play this clip, Rob.
No, it's a shame. We just heard about it just as we were walking in the doors of the Oval. Just heard about it. I guess people knew something was going to happen based on a little bit of the past. They've been fighting for a long time. You know, they've been fighting for many, many decades and centuries, actually, if you really think about it. No, I just hope it ends very quickly.
By the way, did you see what the Pakistani official said, Rob, about what nuclear bombs are all about? If you don't have that, Rob, just go online and look what the Pakistani official said on, I want to say, April 26th about nuclear museum. Just type in nuclear and museum. See if it comes up. Okay, Pakistan nuclear, right there. It's right there on the bottom. Okay, can you make that a little bit bigger? We are ready to stand up. Okay, play this clip and just read it on the bottom. Go ahead, I'll read it. We are ready to stand up to India regardless of the price. If they want to hurt themselves, they have the capabilities to respond to them on every front. We are ready. We will not withdraw. Watch what he says. We will respond to them forcefully. If they do one thing, we will do two. I would like to add that we are proud of our former Prime Minister. Who enabled us to obtain nuclear bombs. These bombs are not here just to be displayed in museums. They exist in order for us to use them. Therefore, if Pakistan needs to use them, we will use them. Because we will not surrender to Indian threats. You can pause it right there. FYI, India is number 6 in the most nuclear weapons with 172. Pakistan's number 7 with 170. They have the same amount of nuclear capabilities with what's going on here in India. Tom, your thoughts on this and how ugly this could get?
Well,
I always get worried when war hawks in the United States are not like aghast at this. Which you have to remember, the Pakistan Air Force is the Chinese Air Force. China sells aircraft to Pakistan. We cooperate with India on defense things. So when India and Pakistan go at it, there are people in the U.S., specifically military-industrial complex, and the war hawks, they don't mind it. Because guess what we get to do? We get to test our stuff against China stuff because Pakistan's flying the China stuff. India's got basically U.S. stuff and stuff that they've built derivatively. And so we get to have a little test match. Do you see that? Yep. So in the mountains of Pakistan, Chinese jets fly over, anti-aircraft shoots them down, and we say, hey, that worked. That's a great test. So there's that going on, which sickens me when war hawks in the United States really see proxy wars as nothing more than test beds and economic opportunity for the U.S. military-industrial complex. That's my first point. That sickens me. The second point is I believe that China has irritated Pakistan and started this and got some rebels going, just like the Chinese CIA, I believe they instigated it. I believe China helped instigate this because there's cards being played. Remember, J.D. Vance, you were giving dates, Pat, and all you had to do is go back 2 more dates. There was another date, which was the date that J.D. Vance went over there and sat down, talked about a trade agreement. And then last week, who was on the Sunday shows, and he said, there's a deal going in Asia, and it's done, 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 done.
Well, Lutnick.
Lutnick said that, and everybody said, oh, he's talking, we think he's talking about India. And he says, is it India? And he said, no, the president will make the announcement at the right time. But you could tell they're enthusiastic. So India's getting momentum with not just Apple, but with U.S. on trade deal. They are the one big chess piece that can play on the chessboard with China when it comes to manufacturing. And it would be China's strategic advantage to instigate something with Pakistan and to get them going. And by the way, this doesn't stop here because Pakistan's going to get support from countries that regard, because of its Muslim faith, as brothers in arms. You attack me, you attack you, you're attacking me.
Would we take it, here's my question, Tom, because it seems like it's escalating, it's not going to stop. And by the way, just to piggyback on Tom's point, the combat aircraft, Pat, the JF-17 Thunder is a joint venture with Pakistan and China, all right? And then the Chengdu J-10C is another acquired from China. And then also, what is it? Their air defense systems, the HQ-9BE is a high to medium altitude air defense system from China. So what I'm saying is,
China armed Pakistan.
Yeah, would we, because we're the world's police, do we get involved to help India in this situation if it escalates?
I think we would probably do it the same way we did it with Ukraine. Here's the good stuff. Go get them.
Got you. Okay, got you. Because, Pat,
the way Biden did it with Ukraine?
Yeah.
Well, Biden, remember, originally didn't give them the good stuff.
Yeah, he gave them the whatever stuff. But here's my thing. We're talking about 2 nations that have nukes, and him saying that, like, oh, we got nukes. They're not just supposed to be sitting there. We want to use them. That's not.
You want to know what the craziest thing is, Rob? Can you go to the map? Go to the map there, like Russia, Pakistan, China. Just go to the map of that area. Watch this. Right, zoom in a little bit. So take a look at this. So you got China there. Zoom in a little bit if you could. You got China. Can you show where Pakistan is? You got China, you got India, you got Pakistan. Okay.
Pakistan borders Afghanistan and also Iran.
Yeah, Afghanistan, slightly Iran on the bottom. And then if you look above them, is who? Above them is who? Right there. What is that?
That's China, Mongolia, up there in Nepal.
To the left?
Kazakhstan?
To the left.
Okay, so now who's above all of that?
No,
right above it? Then you're going to what? Russia. Okay, so check this out. Do you know who gives 60% of the military supply to India? Russia.
Really?
60%. Do you know who buys 40% of Russia's oil supply while everybody is not doing business with Russia?
India.
India. So as weird as this is, China, Putin and Xi have a relationship.
Yeah.
But Putin's not giving up the relationship with India. Putin's trying to play Switzerland. It's like, hey, guys, I want to be more on India's side than I want to be on Pakistan's side.
It's a big customer of Putin.
It's a big customer of Putin.
Wow.
Okay? So that's complex and a little bit, to look at the dynamics, because China's kind of like, well, I'm going to lean on Russia to take care of me. Well, no. And then China signed a 40-year lease at a port that's in Pakistan that they're leveraging and making a bunch of different investments that no matter what happens, good economy, bad economy, Pakistan has to pay China. The way they negotiated the deal, they have a chokehold on Pakistan is what they're doing. They have a chokehold on Pakistan. Strategically, why would they be doing this? Because they know there's a country that can take a lot of business away from them. And who is that? That's India. They don't like India. They do not like what's going on with India. So as much as I believe, my opinion, as much as I believe they're involved in the proxy war behind closed doors, they're also involved in the proxy war, hoping India doesn't attack their investment of $85 billion that they made into Pakistan. And guess what India knows? Oh, really? You want to do this? Guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be attacking the areas you don't want me to attack. It's a very nasty thing going on right now. If you think about it right now, this is a very similar situation to when Hamas attacked Israel, October 7th. This is the Muslim terrorists. Rob, can you find a name so I can just say it correctly for the audience to see? And by the way, there are a lot of people that will disagree with us. A lot of people that will disagree with us. This is another one of those things where the tension is going to be high. Yeah, there it is. That's the name. And Lashkar-e-Taiba fueled the conflict, have significant tensions. Both Pakistani-based groups have been heavily implicated in attacks in India, Kashmir, leading to border skirmishes. And by the way, this kid is being interviewed in India. This kid. Watch what happens. This kid goes viral. Watch this interview. Young kid. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob.
Pakistan zindabad. Zindabad. शर्म नहीं आ रही
Aren't you ashamed? Why should I be ashamed?
पाकिस्तान को खत्म नहीं करना चाहिए
Pakistan shouldn't be destroyed. It shouldn't
भारत
be.
देश जिंदाबाद है
Long live India, yes or no?
पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद है नहीं आपका नाम
अपनी जगह पे सब जिंदाबाद
आपका नाम क्या होगा
तुम भी अपनी जगह पे जिंदाबाद
आपका नाम क्या होगा
कैफ
What's your name?
कैफ पूरा नाम
कैफ मोहम्मद कैफ
कहाँ से हैं आप
मैं बिहार से हूँ
बिहार से आपको थोड़ी सी भी शर्म नहीं आ रही कि
Aren't you
भारत देश में
ashamed?
रहने के बावजूद आप पाकिस्तान
living
का
in
समर्थन
India?
कर रहे हो कि कैसे खत्म होगा पाकिस्तान
अच्छा आप ही न्यूज बना रहे हो तो आपको शर्म नहीं आ रही कि क्या न्यूज बना रहे हो आपको शर्म नहीं आ रही है कि न्यूज बना के सबको फैला रहे हो हिंदू मुस्लिम के बारे में हिंदुस्तान का समर्थन क्यों करना आप पहले हमें जवाब दीजिए उसके बाद हम कुछ बोले तुम जो बोल रहे हो वहाँ भी आदमी है
Very
यहाँ भी
interesting,
आदमी
both
है
sides.
वहाँ भी मुस्लिम है वहाँ भी हिंदू है यहाँ भी हिंदू है सब तो है इंसान तो
Young
क्यों
guy.
सबको खत्म करना पहले ये
You can
बताओ
pause it right
क्यों
there,
करना
Rob. Adam, your thoughts on this?
The India-Pakistan relationship, I would argue, is probably the most important geopolitical situation going on in the world today. We all understand that United States and China are in the midst of a trade war. We understand that. But I don't think we're going to see a hot war with the United States and China anytime soon, God willing. India, Pakistan, two nuclear powers. They're in both the top 10 nuclear arsenals in the world, I want to say.
6 and 7.
Okay, this thing can get ugly real quick. Real quick. So everyone's focused on these sort of land, power, religious border disputes that are happening all around the world, namely Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, Armenia, Azerbaijan. None of that is as big as what could potentially happen between India and Pakistan. This thing can get real ugly, and it's been ugly decade after decade after decade. So if you're in America, why would you care? This is why I always sort of have an issue with the American isolationists. We shouldn't do anything. Forget about the rest of the world. Okay. Well, if India and Pakistan have a nuclear war, let me know how that works out for America and the rest of the world. So, by the way, look at the map of the world, by the way. Here's something to consider. If you cut the world in half, 50% of the landmass is on the Eastern Hemisphere. Also, 50% of the landmass is on the Western Hemisphere, okay? But do you know what percentage of the world population, people, are in the Eastern Hemisphere versus the Western Hemisphere? Do you know?
Do we have more?
No way. No, it's got to be 2 to 1.
They almost, Pat. They have 80% of the world population. 80% is in that side of the world. China, India, those are the two
Even
largest,
more, yeah.
right? Russia, Pakistan, Iran, Saudi.
6.6 billion to 1.1 billion.
It's not even
6
close.
to 1.
So that side of the world, that's the old world. The West is the new world. So it could get real ugly real quick in that side of the world. Now, if you kind of scroll out, and this is sort of, a metaphor, they just had the NFL draft, a week ago, right? All right, and Shador Sanders, where's he going? Who's going to be number one? All right, the guy from Miami. Okay, what's going on here? Right now, this is probably the first time since World War II. Basically, India and Pakistan were established right after World War II. Much like most of these countries, the world is having a draft at this point, and at the team captains are the United States and China, essentially democracies versus autocrats. And everyone gets their picks. And United States has basically aligned themselves with the following countries. The United Kingdom, obviously, Japan, Germany, Israel, India, South Korea, Canada, Poland. Shout out to our friends in Poland. Whereas China has aligned with the following countries: Russia, Iran, Pakistan, North Korea, Belarus, Turkey, and multiple Islamic countries. Now, what's the common theme here? One stands for democracies, one stands for autocrats. So we're having this clash at the border, specifically in Kashmir, between Hindu democracy versus a Muslim, we'll see, theocratic regime. We're going to see what happens.
By the way,
don't forget one last thing. Do you remember who the president or prime minister of Pakistan was? His name was Imran Khan. Do you remember this guy? Do you know where he is right now? He's in jail, I believe. He's like the Bolsonaro of...
He was a soccer player.
Oh, is that what he was?
I think so. I think he was a soccer player.
He's currently in jail right now. And under his regime, apparently, relations with Iran, with India were reaching the best they've seen in decades. But he's now in jail, and now this. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on here, and being in America, just keep your eyes out for
We're going to see what's going on. And one of the challenges with this is the fact that, he was a soccer player back in the days, cricket player back in the days. He was an athlete. So one of the things with this is the water challenge that they're having. The water deal between the two, there's a word for it. I think it's called the Indus Water Treaty that was signed many years ago, where they're sharing the water, and India's holding the water from Pakistan. And one of Pakistan's, I think it's 6, they have a breakdown of what are 6 things you could do to us that would prompt us using a nuclear bomb on you. One of the 6 is if you don't allow us to get the water, and they're calling this something that can prompt a nuclear war. And India is not releasing the water. So they're still hanging on to it and not allocating the water that they need to be. This is a speculation on the story. So obviously, you don't provide water, man. And what are you supposed to do so it's complicated, but at the same time, you started the attack, I have to show strength.
Of course.
What was that all about? Why'd you do that? We have to show strength, and we can't sit there and, sympathize with why you're not getting this. You have to show power. That's what they're doing.
We talked about this yesterday, not to cut you off, Adam. We talked about, we throw away this world nuclear. Everybody, they always scared us about Putin and nukes and all that. That's BS. For that guy from Pakistan to sit there and say, it's not going to sit in a museum, we will use it. We talked about this yesterday. If they launch a nuke and India launches back, what do you think happened? It's not going to just be like, oh, they launched.
This is
it's
massive.
over, because then think about the proximity of China and everybody's launching, and it's
called
over.
Mutual destruction.
Yeah, it's
Nobody
over.
wants this.
So I hope they're monitoring these freaking guys.
De-escalation.
By the way, you know what the president said? He says he's willing to go anywhere to make sure this gets stopped.
It has to be. Yeah,
He's willing to go anywhere to make sure this gets stopped.
PBD, I know you said this was complicated. When you say it's complicated, do you mean the mess, the situation? Do you mean geopolitical alliances? What's your take on
the history of it? I mean, this whole thing started off with Britain, where they have a pride of, hey, this is supposed to be ours. No, it's supposed to be ours. And majority of this area that was Muslim area, but the guy that was running it was a Hindu. They ended up giving it control for Hindu. It's a very complicated history that they have. But at the same time, look, history repeats itself.
Yeah.
And you just hope these guys they don't go to the next level. I think China is using their creative methods of, if it's not going to be COVID, you want me to create some disruption in the world? Maybe this is one of the ways. China sits there and says, you want to play this tariff war? You want a nuclear war? No, let me create a nuclear war. Wow. They are so creative on the ways. If there's anybody in the world, I'm from Iran. You would think Iran would be at the top of the list. China is above Iran for me on who I trust the least, because China controls Iran today.
Of course.
And so for us to see what's going to be happening, I think China's
China's the big boss.
They're the big boss.
They're pulling the strings.
They are.
One thing I just want to say from an American standpoint, where I've been following this story for 25 years now, and I learned about Pakistan. So what happened? So India and Pakistan why did this happen? Oh, in 1948 they had a war, and 2 million people were crisscrossing countries and were killed. What? Because we talk the word genocide gets thrown out a little too loosely these days. There was a full-on genocide between Pakistan and India. Now, why did I start following this 25 years ago? Well, because after 9/11 in America, we started asking some questions. Who did what? What did who? Afghanistan? Is it Iraq? Weapons of mass destruction? Who's this guy, Osama bin Laden? What the hell here? And here's the point. Where did they find Osama bin Laden? Where was bin Laden been hiding? Well, he wasn't in Afghanistan. He was in Pakistan. And he was found 1 mile from a massive military base in Pakistan. Remember, SEAL Team 6 went in there. There it is right there. He was in a massive, apparent mansion, what they called it the Waziristan Mansion. Now, here's what I do know. We talk about the intelligence communities. We talk about nuclear warheads. Both these countries, India and Pakistan, have a top 10 intelligence company, intelligent units all around the world. Obviously, CIA, MI6, KGB, whatever you want to call it. India and Pakistan have massive intelligence units. So either this intelligence unit in Pakistan was stunningly incompetent to not know that the world's most wanted terrorist was 1 mile away from a military base, or they just looked the other way and they were complicit. So the United States went in there, SEAL Team 6, and took out bin Laden. Do you think they informed the Pakistani government or not? The answer is hell no. They went in there, very cloak and dagger-esque, and since they took out bin Laden, the United States and Pakistan's, let's just say, relationship has been at an all-time low. I'm on Team India here just because they're our ally, and Pakistan has a lot of explaining to do.
Okay, all right. That was a good take to know if a Osama bin Laden feels safe being in Pakistan, what does that tell you about Pakistan? Period. Good point. So we officially now have a collaboration of ties with Stefano Ricci. We have this jacket that just came out, new ties with Valuetainment. On it, a blue sports jacket that looks amazing with the Valuetainment logo, the button. I don't know if you saw the button there with the Valuetainment logo on the side of it. Subtle tie and Valuetainment belt. Absolutely sick belt that we have. Again, this is for those that are business owners. Can you show us this jacket here that you have, Chris? Go for it. Let's go to Chris here.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Pat. So we're going to walk you through our 16 units that we have of this lambskin leather aviator bomber here. 100% lambskin. I'm going to walk you why. You're saying, Chris, it looks like we have a couple logos. We don't know what's going on, but let me walk you through why it's special. Obviously, Lion Shield branding, right? Let's walk you through what these degrees mean. This is exactly our degrees here. We're on a landing pad here in Florida. This is where we take off with you guys sitting at home. And let me walk you through why it's special on the inside. So one of the things that Pat has said to us and mentions every day. So we have a little leather patch here. It says, greatness isn't reached by staying on the ground. It's earned by taking off when others are afraid to fly.
My man.
So my man, Pat, came up with that. It makes sense with our aviator jacket. Let me walk you through our custom lining. You can see.
That is sick.
That is VT with our Lion Shields.
I love it.
Each of the 16 that are remaining are going to be hand signed by Pat with this leather patch. So each one is going to be signed by Pat here on corporate. You're going to see him. We're going to do it right now for you guys just to show how special it is.
If you want to show the back, what's on the back? Turn it around.
Yeah, let me finish. So when you make that statement, when you walk away, you walk out of that room, you get out of your car, your jet, wherever you're going, that's what you're going to see. You're setting a statement here.
Sick. So and an American flag on the side. Bring it over here, Chris.
One last thing, too. 2 hours of sandblasting, literally, to make that American flag.
Really? Let me tell you.
So someone sat there for 2 hours.
Sick. And when you put it on, it's unfreaking believable. I'll sign that, Rob. If you can go on the VT merch as well for this limited edition items that we have. By the way, there's only 16 of these. The Stefano Ricci ties, they're all numbered out of 50. Only 20 are left. The jackets that you see over there, the blue one, there's only 10 jackets left. 2 of the size 40, two of the size 42 and 44, only 146, only 148, and only 150. And those shirts, the dress shirts, the blue and the black, those will go in no time. If you zoom in on those shirts, Rob, if you don't mind clicking on that, just click on one of them and zoom in. The inside says Future Looks Bright with the VT logo on it. I'm going to sign this guy over here. Oh, this is so sick. Okay. Chris, if you want to come grab this, guys, all you have to do is go to vtmerch.com to get this gear. This will literally go because it is limited. And again, if you're a business owner, if you ever see me wear these black shirts, now you're seeing what we're doing, the black and blue shirts, Valuetainment gear. Go to vtmerch.com to place your order. Limited supplies. This will go in no time. And cannot wait to see you guys sported and post pictures of it all over the place.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.